Here's a quick display of what the new chest look like. On the left is the light wood, and on the right is the dark wood on the wardrobe. And then here's the gatherables chest on the left, and the collectibles chest on the right. And then here is the cooler. Alright, winners. The first two chests we're going to look at are the gatherables chest and the wardrobe. They're both purchasable from this vendor in Delecia. He's got two different kinds of wardrobe. He's got a dark wood and a bright one. And he has also the chest here for 50 silver. But if you have the furniture vendor in your camp, it's going to be 45 silver. So I suggest purchasing it from him. However, the furniture vendor in your camp is going to be probably the last or one of the very last 2 or 3 vendors that are going to become available in your camp. So you might have to just purchase it from this guy. Here's his location on the map. Here's an overview and then a little zoom in. And he is where my horse is right here. And you can go in and buy the wardrobe from him and the chest. Okay, the collectibles chest is acquired through the early encounter quest, which is in the Hernan request section. You got to come over and talk to this servant over here. If you have trouble getting him to talk to you like I did, he kept telling me about a roast that he wanted really bad. Wouldn't talk to me about the chest. So I had to leave the area and come back. And once I did, he reset and he finally gave me the quest. And so he'll send you to the noble that's over here. Just fast travel over, come talk to the noble. And bam, you got the chest just like that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then we're going to move to the last one, which is the most difficult, the cooler. For the cooler, you're going to need to complete the quest, a special blueprint. You're going to fast travel over here. You're going to talk to this guard. He's going to send you over to a dwarf near the kuku location. If you haven't got to the kuku location, it's an early quest. You'll get there quickly. Anyway, he's going to give you this recipe. It's a basic recipe, and he's going to ask you to go find these things. There's 3 spots here. There's the first one, the second one, and then there's the third one over here. And I have already put the gatherable chest in my house, so I thought, looking over to the left, you need 5 iron ore, copper. I thought that when I crafted this, it would pull it from my gatherables chest, which it does, but then it would also complete that portion of the quest, and I wouldn't have to gather those things. So I'm telling you this because I want you to avoid the mistake I made. I made the mistake of crafting it because I already had that stuff in my chest, but it didn't fulfill the missing materials portion of the quest. So I had to come back to my house and I had to take the items out of my chest. First I was checking to see if it would check it off the list if I pulled it out of my chest, and it did. I didn't have to go to the 3 locations to gather it. But I made a decision from now on that I'm always going to keep a little bit of materials in my inventory because I'm going to wind up gathering it or finding it along the way anyway, and they're going to be taking up a spot, so might as well just keep them with you. So you do need to get those materials first before you can progress the mission, because what I wound up having to do was make 2 kuku coolers because I made one and then I had to go back and get the materials, and then it prompted me to make another one. So do yourself a favor and have the materials first before you make the same mistake I did. Alright, now you have your kuku cooler. Next thing, if you want to upgrade it, if you want to upgrade it to 300, it's over 300 inventory spots, then you're going to need these advanced materials. And here's the advanced materials: brimstone, mercury, rubber, and electrical components. So I'm going to show you how to get those things. If you're like me, you want to upgrade your cooler from the small one on the right to the large one on the left. I think the small one's about 40 or 50 spots, and then the large one is like over 300. So you need 4 ingredients to do this, and the ingredients are more rare in the game. So we're going to go over how to get those 4 ingredients. Now, if you talk to Grimnor here, he'll tell you the things you'll need. One of them is brimstone. So down here, brimstone, mercury, rubber, and electrical components. I have all 4 in my inventory already. However, if you don't have those 4, I'm going to show you how to get them. Starting with mercury. Now, just above the W in Silverwolf, this is up in the Payloon area, you're going to find a mercury pool. If you've unlocked the abyss to this waypoint, then it's directly underneath that waypoint, which will make fast travel easier. So if you haven't, then you'll just travel by horse, or if you've explored Payloon at all, then you can waypoint over. One of the cool things about Mercury is from the sky, if you're flying over, Mercury looks like a mirror on the ground. So when you look down at it, see how it looks like a reflection of the sky. Water doesn't quite have that look. When you come over here, you will need imbue frost. So you'll need to imbue your weapon. And this pool, I believe, will hold 4 strikes from it. So after 4, it'll all dry up into solid mercury that you can collect. So do your 4, and by the time you're done through 4, that first one is already breaking. I suggest having a pet on this. This location isn't necessary for a pet, but the next location I'm going to show you, you're definitely going to want a pet for it. So the next location over here is in Dimonus, and so go up here, Deadfire Mountains. I'm actually going to come in from this location over here. The X is where we're headed. So if you take the point of the castle in the Hex Sanctuary area, you can go directly north of that. Now, part of this Hex Sanctuary area will be unavailable to you. There'll be an orange circle around it until you've beaten that boss. So you might have to travel around that. Now this one, you can shoot 5 times. So you'll be able to get 5. Now this one, you're definitely going to want a pet, because some of these go down in the crevice, and I couldn't get them without a pet. So, most of them I could get, but that one there that just broke, I couldn't get there without the pet. Alright, so Mercury's easy enough. Next, we're going to head and get our Brimstone, because it's actually close by. Now, the Brimstone location is right here where that little marker is, that red marker. So we were just there by Hex Sanctuary. Over here, there's a waypoint that goes directly in here. At some point, the game will lead you here. Now, the best way to get Brimstone is just to shoot these rock guys. Shoot them with the imbue fire. You can sword them down, that's fine too. And you definitely want a pet on this. Now, the downside of the rock guys is they don't drop as much Brimstone, rather. And so, there's an alternative way to doing this, which I really don't like doing. But you're going to do Healing Palm on this. You're basically going to go in a Force Palm, and then you're going to switch to Healing, and you have to clog up 2 of the exits where the smoke is. I don't like doing this because the smoke gets everywhere, and it's hard to aim and hit the location just right. Once you've sealed up 2 of the exits for the gas, then you're going to go into Nature's Snare, and then you'll see the Brimstone form. And from there, you'll unleash. That Brimstone will fall to the ground. You'll see it fall to the ground here, just below me. Again, I would suggest having a pet. I don't think the pet will pick those up. Anyway, there's how you get your Brimstone. There should be 2 stone guys over there. Next, we're going to go to Rubber. And everybody, well, you should probably know this area if you progress through the game. It's where all the minerals are. So just northwest of where the mineral island is, there's a boss you have to fight there eventually. You'll find rubber trees. You'll have to come over and learn them. And you'll know it's a rubber tree because you'll see the liquid emitting from the side of the tree. And so the best way to do this is just to have a Kuku gardening pack. But right now it's bugged. At least it's bugged for me. It's been bugged. A lot of people have been complaining about it. So you'll need a scythe, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But you just swing with a scythe. If you're on PS5, it's R1. And scythes have durability, though. You can see the durability is 13 out of 15. Every swing of the scythe is going to take 1 durability off. So they don't last very long. But you should get enough from 1 tree to easily complete your Kuku cooler. Look at the color of the rubber tree there. Go back if you need to. It's dark green, so you can kind of spot it from overhead. Now here's another one. And then just 1 swing of the scythe. And I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 8 just from that 1 tree, 1 swing. Anyway, again, if you're flying overhead and you see a dark green on the shrubbery, then that's going to get you the rubber tree. Now, I tried the cuckoo pack here. It's still bugged. You can also extract rubber using healing palm on the openings on the tree. That's another option if you don't have a scythe. And then there's also a mission that you can run at your camp to get you a scythe, and that's fairly early in the game. So check your missions. If you're like, how do I get a scythe? You can get them from a mission. That's how I got my scythes. I thought it was going to be a cool weapon, and I made a couple, and I didn't even realize what it was for at the time, but that was like way back at the beginning of the game. Alright, now electrical components. This is going to be one of the harder ones for people. These big guys here, they drop electrical components. See the little guy next to him? They don't drop them. It has to be one of the big guys. So these guys are pretty tough if you're early in the game. I'm going to show you where they're located. You see on the mini map, you see those little beige hexagon things. That's basically telling you you're going to have an electrical component, and that's one right there. You got to put it in your cuckoo pot. Here's what one looks like. I pulled one out of my cuckoo pot so you can see what it looks like. It's easy to overlook these and just run away and not realize that those big robot guys dropped them. So in your cuckoo pot, they'll look the same way. Now, you can find these guys over here in Delecia. So over here in this area where it says Blue Thicket, you'll find these big guys at different locations. The best place, I think, is up there by the coast. Right there. That's where it is. So you can find them kind of loose on that road right there. Anyway, if you've somehow made it through the game and you didn't pick these up, once you conquer Marnie's Masterium, you can produce electrical components directly there. So you can run a mission there and they'll make components for you. And it takes 18 hours, which is about 40 minutes game time for you to make one. And once you have all four of those ingredients, you now can upgrade to your large cuckoo cooler. Alright, I hope you appreciated me putting this together for you. And give me a like. I'd appreciate it greatly. It helps my little tiny channel. Helps Grandpa grow. Take care, y'all.